Pt.2. The restaurant had this regular customer, Amy. She'd come in with her mom like twice a week. Always sat in my section after I became a waiter. She was in college, studying business or something. We'd talk whenever it wasn't too busy. She was the first person in years who didn't look at me like I was garbage. I remember exactly what she said that first night. "Hey, what's good here?" She asked, actually looking at me instead of the menu. The carbonara's pretty great. Marco makes the sauce from scratch," I said, probably sounding like an idiot. "You actually know who makes the food?" She smiled. "Most places I go, the servers just raid the specials and disappear." We ended up talking for like 10 minutes about food. Her mom just sat there smiling. Later, I heard her mom say, "Amy, stop bothering the poor waiter. He has other tables." Amy looked around the empty restaurant and laughed. "Yeah, Mom, he's clearly swamped." They started coming in more often, always requesting my section. Amy was studying business at the local college, and she'd sometimes bring her homework. One night, she was struggling with some accounting stuff. "This makes no sense," she groaned, staring at her textbook. "How can a company lose money but still show a profit?" "Creative accounting," I said while refilling her water. "They're probably moving numbers around to make it look good for investors." She looked at me like I'd grown a second head. "How do you know about corporate accounting?" Truth was, I'd been reading business books at the library, wanted to understand how restaurants worked, maybe open my own someday. Told her this, and she got super excited. "That's amazing. Most people your age don't care about this stuff. Hey, want to look at this problem with me?" Next thing I know, I'm sitting at her table during my break, helping her with homework. Her mom would just watch us with this knowing smile. This went on for months. Amy would come in, we'd talk about business stuff, and I'd try not to fall in love with her. Failed miserably at that part, by the way. She was so smart but never made me feel stupid. Like this one time, she said, "I don't get why you're working here. You're clearly good at this business stuff. Not everyone can afford college." I mumbled, feeling embarrassed. "You don't need college to be successful," she said. "My dad never went, and he owns 3 companies now. He says experience matters more than degrees." That conversation stuck with me. Started thinking maybe I could do more than just work in restaurants. I eventually got my GED by studying at the library on my days off. Amy helped me with the math parts. She never asked about my past, and I never told her. Was too scared she'd stop talking to me if she knew that was my life for about 5 years. Wake up, work, study, sleep, repeat. Didn't date, didn't make friends, really just focused on surviving and trying to be better. The whole time I kept thinking about Jenny, hoping Beth wasn't messing her up. One night, Amy came in looking super excited. "Guess what? Dad's looking for someone to help manage his new property development project. Entry, level position, but lots of room to grow. You should apply." I froze. "Amy, I never even finished high school. But you got your GED. That's all that matters. Come on, just try. What's the worst that could happen?" The worst that could happen? She could find out about my past, about Beth's lies, about everything. But Amy kept pushing. "Please, for me. Dad, trust my judgment, and I know you'd be amazing at this." So I applied. Had to borrow a suit from Dave. Still fit weird. The interview was terrifying. Amy's dad just stared at me for like a full minute before speaking. "Amy says you understand business." "Prove it," he said. Somehow, I managed to talk intelligently about property development trends I'd read about and even suggested some ideas for his new project at the end. He just nodded and said, "You start Monday." When I told Amy I got the job, she hugged me. First time anyone had hugged me in years. I almost cried right there in the restaurant. "See," she said. "I told you you could do it." That job changed everything. Her dad became like the father I wished I'd had. He actually listened when I had ideas, taught me everything about real estate development. Within a year, I was managing my own projects. The whole time, Amy and I got closer. We'd get coffee after work, talk for hours. But I never asked her out. Kept thinking about Beth's lies about my past. Amy deserved better than some guy who lived on the streets.